Some exciting wrestling news as Sid has been announced as the latest inductee into the class of 2026 WWE Hall of Fame, albeit posthumously. An honor long overdue for Sid. I met Sid twice in my lifetime, my career as a TV news journalist back in 1999. Sid was coming into the little town of Florence, Alabama, where I was working to wrestle. I met him after the show to interview him, and he thought this was going to be a promo for his next appearance he was coming back for. And he snatched the mic out of my hand. I'm a timid little 25-year-old, 26-year-old reporter, scared to death as he is screaming this promo at the guy who kind of screwed him in the match earlier in the night. He was coming back for that rematch, though. He came back for the rematch and joined us on the set at WOWL, a now defunct station in Florence. But here's a little bit of that interview with Sid. Very happy with this news.
I can't look at my opponent and say, okay, this is what his weakness is, this is his strengths. So I have to go in there with just what I know, and that's my strength, and that's just straight on.
Brute power.
Brute power, man. It's the only thing I have. And good looks.
How long have you been in the ring, Sid?
Well, I started my career, believe it or not, about 14 years ago, right here in this area of Florence with Continental Championship Wrestling. And it's just stretched on from there.
And what was the draw? What made you want to become a professional wrestler?
Money, women, blah, blah, blah. No, believe it or not, it always starts off with something like that. And when I first started in wrestling, I was a real shy, laid-back type of guy. I didn't feel comfortable in front of cameras and stuff like that. But then I found out that camera is really my best friend, and that's when I really, you'll find out through life too. You'll meet a lot of people. Like I met Dan Aykroyd in my life. A lot of people, when you meet them, they're always something totally different than what you thought they would be.
And I guess you had pretty good training at the table when you were young. I just don't understand how anybody could grow to be so big. You must have had some really good vitamins. And take your Flintstones.
Well, I'll tell you what, just for example, yesterday, through the day, that's just part of my meals. I ate over 4 dozen eggs yesterday.
Wow.
That was till noon, then of course it takes in a lot of calories. I take in over 600 grams of protein a day, very few carbohydrates to try to stay lean, but it does take a lot of food and a lot of good vitamins and stuff like that.
How do you have time to train? Do you do any weight training since you're on the road so much? I imagine it's hard to get a slot somewhere.
You'll be surprised. 10 years ago, fitness wasn't anywhere aware like it is today. And you would come to Florence and there wasn't any gyms. Today in this area I rode through here, I saw a Gold's Gym, I saw a Dungeon, and et cetera, et cetera. You didn't see that before. You're seeing that everywhere. So it's a little more easier now to find a place to get a good workout. And also restaurants are being more accommodating to things like when I walk in and say I want an omelet with just egg whites. Used to, huh? No, but now it's not so bizarre to ask for something like that.